Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hey everybody, this is Josh, and here we have some more replays from MLG Dallas. This one is going to be a best-of-3 series played in the winner's bracket between PainUser and ThisIsJimmy. Both of these guys are Terran players. PainUser is a member of the new gaming team, Lazarus Gaming. He is the yellow one up here on the top of Metalopolis. And ThisIsJimmy is sponsored by Check6, which is a team that sponsors all kinds of games, including World of Warcraft. That's where I first heard about them. But ThisIsJimmy and PainUser both are very strong Terran players. They've been around since forever, beginning of the beta, so both of them have a lot of experience in TVT. These replays weren't cast live at MLG Dallas. I realized after I cast Drewby and HeyPro that I had seen the games before they were actually cast, and then again when we saw Tyler versus AxLab, I realized that those games had been cast as well, because I remember watching that DT game, but these, I'm almost 100% sure have not been cast, so I'm going to see what's happening here for the first time, and hope there are some exciting games. They're of a good length, where you can kind of tell that it wasn't just a steamroll. That's not really a spoiler, since you can see how long the YouTube video is, but these should be pretty entertaining games. Both of these guys are quite good, and they each have a couple of tournament wins under their belt, both online, and PainUser actually had a live tournament win at the SoCal Green Forest LAN right around retail time. But PainUser says, 1 Rax FE, go go. I don't know if he's predicting that as something Jimmy might try to do, or if he's hinting to Jimmy that that's what he's going to try to do. But so far, all these guys have done is do the normal, very standard Terran build with the depot, barracks, refinery, and then orbital command will be coming up next. PainUser does scout the wrong location first. He checks that far left spawn point. ThisIsJimmy checking the far right. They both check their close running spawns first, just so they know if they need to start producing units right away, feverishly or not. But other than that, both players dead on with each other, same number of SCVs, very, very close production cycles there. PainUser might be a split second ahead. He is dropping a second supply depot first, though, behind that wall o' smoke, that visibility blocker, and ThisIsJimmy has not started to do that just yet. Oh, Jimmy actually gets a fortunate SCV kill there. PainUser scout dipped in and tried to escape, but didn't quite have enough time. PainUser is sending his first Marine somewhere, maybe to the watchtower, I'm not sure, but ThisIsJimmy's SCV does survive for the time being. Oh, PainUser sending an SCV with that Marine, so it looks like he might be trying to bunker up here outside of ThisIsJimmy's natural. There we can see the movements are queued up for that SCV. That Marine is going to head home, though. Oh, he's trying to find the scouting SCV of Jimmy. He does locate it with the second Marine, but ThisIsJimmy, not sure if he's going to be able to escape. Actually, if he just runs away, he should be fine, since he has a 2.81 speed and a Marine only has 2.25. But anyway, back in the base, Command Center is coming for ThisIsJimmy, so PainUser nailed it. He is going for a 1 Rax fast expand, and PainUser, on the other hand, is going for a factory. And ThisIsJimmy, I've seen do a lot of starport play. PainUser seems to be more of a fan of Marines and tanks in pretty much every matchup. ThisIsJimmy hides his SCV here in the smoke, but I don't think PainUser is going to be fooled by that. He's just going to have him chill outside. Oh, look at that timing! The SCV does narrowly escape and starts to head home, but PainUser does have another Marine waiting at the ramp for that guy to try to come down. Very interesting maneuvers there for these beginning scout slash tier 1 units, and the SCV of ThisIsJimmy does go down there. But so both players actually traded their scouting SCVs. ThisIsJimmy adding on Rax number 2, 3, and now 4. So 4 Rax fast expand out of a 1 Rax fast expand. And PainUser going 1-1, not even 1-1-1. I don't see a starport anywhere. And also expanding for himself. But PainUser does have his SCV watching this natural expansion area, and ThisIsJimmy does not have the same luxury over on the other side of the map by PainUser's base. So PainUser might actually be able to block this. Notice how ThisIsJimmy is turning it into an orbital command before it even leaves the base. That's so he can drop a mule right away if he wants to. Let's see if he does. And he did use something. He must have scanned. Yes, he scanned right on PainUser's main there. Did see the starport coming. So PainUser going 1-1-1, expand, and a second barracks. PainUser scans him right back and sees this orbital command. So this SCV is going to be able to block this here for just a second. I'm sure ThisIsJimmy will just move down with these few Marines and get him to get out of the way. A Reaper was actually made for ThisIsJimmy. It looks like it's already hurt even, so I'm not sure when that encounter happened, but This is Jimmy could actually hop up the cliff here and get some more scouting information if he thinks he needs it. PainUser moving up to barracks number 2 and 3 now, and his orbital command is finished. Does have 50 energy right when it finishes. He does use it to drop a mule instead of a scan. This is Jimmy is going to see that orbital command floating over, and he drops the supply depot behind his own smoke/visibility blocker. And looks like This is Jimmy is content to just make tier 1 units for the time being. He's got combat shields coming, stim pack coming, concussive shells, actually not stim pack. Did he get it already? Yes, he did already have it. So he's got 3 tech lab barracks, 1 reactor barracks, and now is getting a 5th barracks, not even a factory or a starport. So it looks like This is Jimmy is just going all bio against PainUser's slightly more varied mix of units here. He's got 6 Marines and a tank. He's got that starport finished and sitting on a tech lab. Doesn't look like he's actually built anything out of it yet. Unless maybe he got a Viking that I didn't see. No, it doesn't look like it. PainUser did have a unit sitting here at this watchtower, so now This is Jimmy clears that out and is heading over to PainUser's natural. We'll see what he's able to accomplish with this not really early push, but approaching mid-game here. So he does actually have more units, This is Jimmy does. They are tied on supply, but This is Jimmy has more units just attacking here. Actually, now with the second tank and the sieged tank of PainUser, I don't believe This is Jimmy's really going to be able to do anything. Almost loses a Marine in just 1 blast there. And PainUser is actually chilling at the Zelnaga tower here on the left side of the map with a Marine, so he'll be able to see if Jimmy retreats that direction. Here, This is Jimmy, we see him taking the top road back home. Is he going to start getting some additional tech? He's just sitting on 5 racks right now with 2 bases, still no factory even being built. PainUser just way ahead on the tech. That's going to get pretty difficult for Jimmy to deal with if this trend continues. The production facilities, it's the same number of production facilities, but a much more varied mix of units. This Banshee here waiting for Cloak to finish. PainUser's getting stim pack for his own units now, and he does have these tanks to defend, whereas Jimmy chases away the 1 Marine of PainUser from the Zelnaga tower, so PainUser's vision is a bit limited, but they're pretty even on economy as well if you look at units. Actually, let's just look at income. It looks like This is Jimmy is slightly ahead, as he does have a couple more harvesters, but PainUser's actually getting more gas. Jimmy just now throwing up gas number 3, it looks like, while PainUser's way ahead, obviously, to be able to afford that tech. And here we have This is Jimmy moving across the map again. He's got quite a few Marauders and Marines, but siege tanks are really hard to deal with, even with that many units. Of course, Jimmy's going to stim up and start to attack that, but I'm not sure if he saw this Banshee or what, but he's heading home to just probably chill out at his natural for a while, switch back to production just to see what This is Jimmy is doing. Looks like he did get a factory finished up and is now getting a starport. Also keeping an eye on this Banshee of PainUser. 3 turrets coming up for Jimmy, so he must have seen the tech lab starport and feared the worst. He is adding turrets all over his mineral lines here, and an armory now. So reactor, factory, and an armory. Probably going to be flipping the starport onto the reactor, but I'm not sure if he's going to start upgrading ship weapons or what. PainUser's Cloak is finished now. PainUser also getting a Raven out, as well as getting some upgrades and another factory combat shield coming for his Marines. So the Banshee's here. Cloak is researched. He's got a lot of energy. Let's see what he's able to do here. There is 1 turret here able to see the Banshee, but it's not in range to shoot it just yet. So I'm going to keep This is Jimmy's view here and see how he tries to deal with this threat. The Banshee is actually up to 3 kills now. Jimmy's forced to scan, and he does kill off that Banshee with only 3 kills. So This is Jimmy not really set back too much by that, but PainUser has been just cranking out SCVs this entire time. He passed Jimmy. He was down 41-39. Now he's up 52-44. He's got a pretty sizable army here as well. This is Jimmy sitting at 102 supply. PainUser at 102 as well. Sensor tower here for PainUser, so he can keep an eye on the air traffic around his main. He's adding on a 2nd starport now as well. So look at all these. This is a nice mix of production structures here. 3 barracks, soon to be 2 starports and 2 factories. Over at his other natural base, he's adding on another barracks and a command center. This is Jimmy did finish building his. No, he hasn't yet. But he's also planning to expand over to that 3rd location. Look at this production tab. It's just massive right now. Both players just macroing their hearts out while no real battles are going on. This is Jimmy builds a turret right there at the 3rd of PainUser, so when he floats that barracks over, or actually that command center over, it'll take a few shots and be unable to land. But I don't know if PainUser saw that. No? Doesn't look like he did. I'll go ahead and look. I just looked at the minimap. Anyway. So Jimmy finally has some medevacs out. It looks like he probably did flip that starport over. Yes, he did. Oh, and he flipped factory over onto the tech lab so he can start making tanks. He could actually be making Thors as well. Not sure why he got the armory just yet. He hasn't made any use of it just yet. He is upgrading infantry weapons and armor. PainUser just lands anyway next to the turret to keep it from taking any more damage than it has to. The Banshee probably should be sitting back a little bit. It takes a few unnecessary shots there from the turret, goes down to only 3 health. That was pretty careless. PainUser almost lost a Banshee there for no good reason, but now he sets his command center down in the proper spot. Probably going to be making that into a planetary fortress here any moment. As you see, he does have an engineering bay because he's getting infantry weapons level 1. This is Jimmy moving now. He does not want that third base to become a planetary fortress. Actually, it's turning into an orbital command now, so Jimmy will have a little bit of an easier time trying to kill it off. PainUser built a turret just sort of spotting here to prevent Jimmy from expanding to that far left spawn point. Jimmy is getting a planetary fortress here at his third, though. Oh, and he also did a drop. I'll scoot back just a wee bit to make sure we didn't miss anything too crucial there. Looked like Jimmy did scan first to see if any army was in place. He's got 2 medevacs full of units, and one goes down with 8 units in it. Oh man, 8 Marines lost to a single turret. This is Jimmy. Really cannot be happy with that right now. Look at PainUser just cranking out units from all these production structures right now, while Jimmy just building Marauders and Thors back at home while he does some damage. He killed off a supply depot. Oh, and he loses another medevac full of units. So Jimmy, oh, that drop could not have gone worse for him. Now he's trying to attack at the second front. He scans just to make sure there's no army there. PainUser about to come into this big battle here. He's got a lot of tanks, so if he just sieges these up, I have a feeling Jimmy's not going to be able to contend with this, even if he's stemmed up. Look at this point defense drone coming down from PainUser, blocking a lot of Marauder shots there. So PainUser's army now 123 against ThisIsJimmy's dwindling forces. 121 now against 108. So PainUser just getting the edge in every little skirmish. Did not really lose his. He didn't lose his orbital command at all. He didn't really lose a lot of SCVs either. He transferred them away, and now he's just sending them right back. So PainUser getting these little advantages. This huge failed drop over here, only killing 1 supply depot and 1 turret, really set Jimmy behind. So not sure what he's going to be able to do now. He is getting infantry weapons and armor level 2. He's close to the same production capability that PainUser has, but PainUser with the nice tech still has this Raven available to him with point defense drones. Of course, that shuts down Marauder fire very well. He's got Thors of his own. He's got Vikings in the air just in case they can actually do some damage to medevacs pretty quickly. And he's just got a larger army overall, 150 against 133. It looked like an SCV was taken out right there. Jimmy is building another turret at this far right spawn location. Just make sure PainUser doesn't try to expand over there. And PainUser's army is a little bit split here. ThisIsJimmy's going to get a little bit of a gift, couple of units, but they stem up and retreat back, and now PainUser's ready to go with his whole army here. Let's watch this go down. Stem going down for both sides. Looks like Jimmy may have actually double stemmed. I'm not sure, but PainUser with that superior army. Not sure if I saw a PDD go down there or not, but yeah, it looks like it did. So PainUser just gets another little benefit there out of that skirmish. 161 food against 115 now. Look at these 2 sensor tower placements. If he's able to hold these Zelnaga towers, he just has vision like everywhere. There's nowhere Jimmy's going to be able to attack from where PainUser won't see it. And PainUser actually has vision over here too. Oh, he just dropped a scan to make sure Jimmy wasn't over there. But Jimmy is building at the far right spawn location, but he's so far behind in army now, and they've been on 3 bases each for a long time here. PainUser at 67 SCVs, and ThisIsJimmy at 66. Looks like ThisIsJimmy has more Marauders, but I think the tanks will actually make a huge difference here in any coming battles, as long as PainUser is responsible with sieging them and unsieging them at the proper times. Let's just keep army size up. Yes, PainUser just so totally dwarfing ThisIsJimmy right now, 191 to 148. Pretty much just has to feel confident enough to attack. Looks like he's going to skirt right by this expansion going down. He did notice it, but he's going to take out the base that's mining already instead of just preventing that one. So here comes the planetary fortress being repaired up by Jimmy, but there are just so many forces here, it's not going to be enough for Jimmy. Planetary fortress does go down. PainUser sieges up, just rips through everything that's there. And Jimmy, defensive position, looks like he's got all his army up there at the gold right now, just letting this expansion go down, basically, get wasted. And now this orbital command taking heavy fire. The tanks of PainUser siege up before this encounter happens. Great for PainUser. The Vikings shooting down medevacs. This one actually has a couple of Marauders in it still when it explodes. This is Jimmy making a few costly mistakes and a little bit of a tech switch. A little bit of mismanagement in the tech. PainUser just went straight up toward air units and tanks, while this is Jimmy stuck with heavy bio for a long time. He ended that game with 7 barracks, by the way. So PainUser takes that game 1. Now let's move into game 2 of this best of 3 series and the winners bracket for MLG Dallas.